Hey y'all, it's Tishan, aka Nine Coins here on YouTube, back with another video. It's been a really busy time for me. Um, I, I was there was I don't even know where to start, but it's my final semester of grad school, so it is what it is. I'm just going to be busy, but thank you for watching my video today. I finally want to talk about what I consider like my favorite tarot deck. There's been tags saying, you're like only five decks or only 10 decks or top five or that. Like, I literally could narrow it down to one deck. And this is the deck that like, if I had to like give away all of my other decks, this is the deck that I would keep, like this is a long lasting deck. So I want to talk about it. It's called the Kemetic Tarot, um, written and created by Michael Coles. The illustrator. Do they list the illustrator? Hmm. I'll probably like add the illustrator. Um, yes, Anna Dorshiva. Anna Dorshiva is the original illustrator. So this came out in like 2021, published by a small publishing house called Abracax Publishing, and it currently retails at $89 on the publisher's website and on Amazon. The reason why I chose to buy it was because on Amazon, it had a very steep discount. So I was able to purchase it for like 57 bucks or something like that. So when I saw that steep discount, I was like, oh, I don't think this is ever coming back again. So I just bought it. And I just want to share it with you because I love it so much. And I know that I talk about it, now and again in different videos. I'm like, I really need to just like do a walkthrough, and not necessarily a walkthrough, like a flip through, and just really talk about the deck. I've had the deck since last October, so it's been in regular rotation since then. I use the deck for myself, and I use the deck for others. Um, and it's not in my everyday carry because it's so precious to me. If I lose it, I would literally cry. Like, but when I go to an event where I'm reading, this is definitely part of the collection of decks that I take with me. And I kind of feel my way from client to client, whether they want whether I read with this deck or another deck. So just wanted to give you a sense about the packaging. So I kept the box because I don't know, I still want to figure out, I don't know, it's a cool box. But it comes in this box, and even the outer packaging, like what it ships to you, has a branded box. So it'll come in like a bigger black box with the branding. And so if you buy this deck and you buy it off Amazon specifically, and you live in an area where you're like, your mail is, you want to be really safe and protective with your mail, you could probably select to have it shipped in like a Amazon box, like so that, people aren't like, ooh, that looks pretty, and swipes it. But yeah, it'll come in its own branded packaging box, as well as this is the box that the deck itself comes in. It's a huge box, and the only I'm a little miffed because this foam part, even though it really secures the deck and the materials, it's stuck there. And I wanted to use I was like, this is a nice box, right? Like, I want to figure out how to remove it so I can like put more stuff in the box. But this is what it comes in. And so you have at the very bottom, you have your deck. The deck is nestled inside a tuck box that comes in there. And then you also it comes with a really nice velvet and embroidered pouch with branding. And it also comes with two books. So it has the guidebook here, which is the Kemetic Tarot Guidebook. There we go. And then it also has like a tale of stories all around Aset, or Isis is where she's commonly known. here. So these are the stories featuring her, like her birth and betrayal and just really cool things. It has pictures, illustrated pictures, and things like that. So it's really cool that that this this set comes with two books of information and not just one. Also, it comes with a red jasper amulet. This is called the Tajet. This is the amulet of Aset. It's an amulet that represents protection, and even in the book The Veil of Aset, there is an explanation um, about the amulet. Let me see if I can find it. Here we go. Yeah, so it talks about the knot. This is the knot of Aset, and it talks about basically what it's there for. If you really want to use it in its original intent, it also gives instructions on how to, like, what words to use to imbue the amulet with its protective properties and how to wash it and things of that nature. So, really cool information. And a lot of the information that the guidebook provides is taken directly from the Egyptian Book of the Dead, Going Forth by Day. So they make it very clear, like this is from it. This is from that text. What I like about the guidebook in particular is that it features a lot of information about Kemet, about why it, about going forth by day, about why it uses certain deities for certain cards. It breaks down like the symbolism and the coloring of the cards. It has, it's very Rider-Waite-Smith based, so it contains it makes it very clear like what associations they're making between Rider-Waite-Smith Major Arcana and the Kemetic Tarot Major Arcana. And also too, when it comes to the Major Arcana, which feature basically the members of the Egyptian pantheon, they when in the book when it talks about each major arcana, it also comes with a story about that particular figure. So, for example, let me see. So, okay, I just landed on Nebetet, which is also the high priestess right here. So it will talk about who Nebetet is, her Greek name, which is Nephthys. And then it will eventually get to some shorthand of meanings and associations here. But also, too, it'll follow up with a tale featuring Nebetet that comes from the Egyptian Book of the Dead, right? So it'll do that really throughout. So it just provides just a lot of information. Like if you're new to Egyptian mythology and the Egyptian pantheon, I think this is a really cool book to start with, along with the actual text of the Egyptian Book of the Dead as well. So it just adds a little something extra. The courts feature, and you'll probably see this. I'll explain how I'm going to do the walkthrough later. But the courts they feature important figures in Egyptian history, so kings and queens, different types of members of an Egyptian royal court. So warrior, which is the knight, and scribe, which is the page, and then your queens and your kings for your queens and your kings. So it's very clear. It's very easy to follow. Like I said before, it's extremely Rider-Waite-Smith. The illustrations, which you'll see, are just like really like, if you are familiar and comfortable with Rider-Waite-Smith, you will be familiar and comfortable with this deck. One thing that I wanted to mention is that, so here's the deck, right? This is the second edition. So the first edition is a little bit smaller and looks like has different backings, but it's gold foil backings, gold edges. Ooh, look at that. Okay, son. And then you have gold foiling around the borders. Now, here's what I didn't realize when I, like the first month of getting the deck. I thought that all of the symbols, the hieroglyphs around the borders were the same on each card. Uh, that is not the case. Each card has a different set and order of hieroglyphs. And for the life of me, I was like, why is this a thing? Like, so let me hold up. This is Bess, which is an extra card, and Aten, which is the sun. I'll just hold these up, and you can see that they're different. You see that? Every card is like that. And I was like, what? I was just scratching my head for like a month. Then finally I was like, let me go to the guidebook, because you know how I am about guidebooks. And the guidebook shares that that essentially the hieroglyphs are, if you read the hieroglyphs in order of the cards, it is reading selected passages of going forth by day in order. Isn't that crazy cool? Like, I don't read hieroglyphs, but if you're really into that type of thing, like being able to decipher what's there, I think that's such a really cool exercise. And it just shows how much detail and care, beyond the packaging, beyond the goodies that come with it, that they put really into this deck. And it tells you the order in which you would read the hieroglyphs around the borders too, it's just really cool. So yeah, I just really think I don't know, it's really special. Like, it makes me feel like I have a product that people really put, really strong effort into creating. And for me, I mean, everyone has their value point, their price point, but yes, I got this at $60, but I think it's worth it at the price that its original price too. But that's just me and how I spend. I'm a Taurus moon. I can't help it. I like the I like the pricey, expensive things in life. But yeah, so the cards are a little bit bigger. Let me they're a little bit bigger than the first edition of this deck, and they're a little bit bigger than your traditional Rider-Waite-Smith, your 2.75 by 4.5 or something like that. So this is a traditional size here. Oh, I can't. Okay. Are we, there we go. Sorry, y'all. So this is the traditional card size here. And then, yeah, so here is, so not by much, but it's enough to make a difference for someone who maybe has small hands. I have longer fingers, so it doesn't necessarily bother me. The shuffling is very interesting. Oh, this is also linen cardstock. So it shuffles really nicely. Like I said, I've had it since October, so the gilding is starting to rub off. But I don't mind. I like to wear out my decks. I like my decks to look used, but overall it's still in pretty good shape and condition. I'm a riffle shuffler, and so what I learned is if I try to riffle it too fast, they don't really work out well. So I have to like riffle it like very slow. Like I have to do this. Yeah, and then I bridge it, and it bridges beautifully. So yeah, just a point. It's probably going to be too big for me and my fingers to overhand. Like I'm stretching, like my hand is getting a workout here. It's overhand this way. So if I were to overhand, I would likely have to do it long way. But I'm a riffler, so I don't really do overhand shuffling. So yeah, so I think that's a good intro. So here's what I'm going to do, because I actually filmed an unboxing back in October, and I didn't like it. But I don't want to waste the footage, so I did a flip through. So I'm going to insert footage of the flip through so that you can still see the cards in order. I did not want to put my cards back in order just because I don't know, I just don't want to. So I'm gonna, we're gonna go to that footage now so you can see what each card looks like. It's not necessarily, I don't feel like a walkthrough is necessary because the cards are so clear, like the choices of compositions, the choices of artwork for each card just makes sense. Even if it's not a Rider-Waite-Smith clone, it definitely captures the meanings that we all know and love for each Rider-Waite-Smith card. The only thing that you need to remember is that in this deck, the suits are slightly different but the same. So ankhs are cups, scepters are wands, swords are swords. Come on, there we go. Swords are swords. Um, and what else is it? I think it's swords are swords, scepters are wands. What else we got? Scarabs. Scarabs are pentacles. Scarabs are pentacles. There we go. Right? So as long as you remember those, you're all set, really. Very easy to use. Very easy to use. And just, it's been a lovely reading experience. Okay, I'm going to shut up. View this walkthrough. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose, I could do a random poll, but the guidebook is interesting in that it provides fuller descriptions and definitions and meanings for the major arcana and for the courts. However, when it comes to the other minors, it's very rudimentary, very basic. So if I don't pull like a major or a court card, I'll probably pull until I get one of those so you can see the differences in how the book reads for each type of card in the deck. Okay. Oh, great. So we have Warrior of Swords. So this translates as the Knight of Swords. White is the color, geez Louise. White is the color of the sword's suit, and the W is for warrior. Okay, so let's look up the Warrior of Swords. The order is a little bit hard to get used to in the book. It orders the majors first, then all the courts, then all the aces, and it goes down the line that way. So I'm looking for Warrior of Swords, which means I have to find the warrior section and then look at Warrior of Swords. So yeah, here we go. So it has a full color kind of depiction of the card, and very simple. It has a quote, and it says, the Nakuta, or strong arm boys, were the hardcore open order hand-to-hand infantry of the pharaoh. They made up the bulk of the Egyptian military, with the best of the best being assigned to the Kenet Nesu, or King's Braves, the elite special forces units of the ancient Egyptian army. The Warrior of Swords is dressed in a standard Naktu armor, holding a shield and Khopesh sword. He steps into the conflict with his sword held high. He takes firm, solid steps. His dedication to purpose shows on his face. The pyramids stand in the background, representing the sturdiness of this what is it called? Of this tough, hardened veteran warrior, even as storm clouds begin to form in the background, indicating a rough road ahead. Positions: upright, ambitious, assertive, quick thinking, direct, action focused, risk taker, soldier, quick witted. Upright additional: dedication, sense of purpose, steadfastness, solid footing. Reversed: missed opportunities, restless, out of control, impulsive, dangerous, unfocused, burnt out. Reverse additional: disloyalty, lack of resolve, inconsistency, feeble footing. Okay, so yeah, so just give you a sense. So that's a court card there. And then let me see, what is this? Oh my God, we have the Hierophant. So this is Tehuti. So you'll notice that the Egyptian pantheon in this deck goes by the Kemetic names. So Tehuti is Thoth or Thoth, and they are naturally the Hierophant, the great teacher, the knowledge bearer. So let's see what they have to say for Major Arcana 5, Tehuti. There we go. All right, so here you have same thing, full picture here, description, and there's so much more for the Major Arcana because they talk about the Kemetic gods. So anyway, I'll probably not read all of it, but I'll read a little bit of it. Tehuti, known among the Greeks by his pseudonym Thoth or Thoth, is the wisest of the gods. It is he who invented reading, writing, mathematics, science, and magic. Cleverest of the gods, he once tricked the moon god Khonsu, winning some of his power, which allowed him to extend the year from 360 to 365 days. In doing so, he made it possible for the goddess Nut to give birth to the Egyptian pantheon of gods, despite the curse of Amun-Ra that she would not give birth on any day of the year. Tehuti is the maintainer of order in the universe. As he stands in Amun-Ra's solar bark and arbitrates disputes among the gods. He developed a system for judging the dead, and he acts as both prosecutor and scribe during the final trial of the soul in the Great Hall of Two Truths. The Tahuti card, I'm skipping down now, card 5, is equivalent to the Hierophant card in other decks. This card represents the keeper of secret knowledge, great wisdom, and magic. Tahuti wears a moon-shaped crown holding a blue lunar disk, reflecting his status as a lunar deity. He stands in the repository of all ancient knowledge, among the scrolls of the Great Library of Alexandria. Scroll in hand, he wears the satchel of a scribe, the symbol of knowledge, around his waist, and holds the feather of Ma'at in his hands as a quill. His head is that of an ibis, believed by the Egyptians to be the wisest of animals. Positions: upright, tradition, religion, spiritual wisdom, knowledge, sharing, institutions, conformity. Upright additional, intelligence, esoteric knowledge, mastery of the arcane, wisdom, order. Reverse, personal beliefs, freedom, individuality, nonconformity, unconventional. Reverse additional, esoteric knowledge, lack of mystical wisdom, and prudence, disorder. And then it follows up with a story featuring Tahuti, which is really cool. The Book of Tahuti. Yeah. So, yeah, if any of these cards resonate, I would say that that there's a situation right now that you might want to listen and learn before speaking, before acting. This is a time to observe, to see what you can learn before saying, and in fear of saying things that maybe you shouldn't say at the time, or saying things that may self-sabotage a situation. So if that resonates with you, there you go. So yeah, so that is kind of, I'm so glad I got that out the way, because I've been saying that I wanted to do it, and I finally got it done, and I can move on with my life. And thank you for bearing with, for those whose interest was piqued by seeing this deck in my past videos. I hope you got a thorough sense of what this deck is and if it's right for you. It's definitely right for me. I'm not going to say it's right for everybody, but I do think it's a solid deck of cards and very well made, and a lot of effort put into it. One thing I'll say, if you're a grammar stickler, there are a couple, but not a lot, of misprints or typos in both books. So yeah, I spotted. So I was like, oh, okay. And sometimes it gets to me and sometimes it doesn't, but for what I'm getting, it's fine. Yeah. So let me know what you think about this deck, or do you have this deck? Have you been working with it? Have you been working with it longer than I have, which is totally like possible? And how have you been getting along with it? How do you use it? How does it fit into your collection and your practice? I want to know. In other news, thank you so much for tuning in to another video. Please like, subscribe, comment, do all the things. And yeah, I'll see you next time.